Crooks are getting more creative when it comes to getting their hands on your money. CBS 5 is working to make you scam savvy. All today, we are uncovering new tricks that scammers are using.
And tonight we have a scam tied to, well, heartbreak. A Valley woman lost everything, including her life savings, to a man that she thought was her fiancé. As Chief Investigative Reporter Morgan Lowe reports, the Arizona Attorney General is now seeing bigger and more complex romance scams targeting Arizona women and men.
Maria Timbaga Rojo is making dinner in her studio apartment in Mesa.
Just get this to boil.
It's cramped quarters, and it wasn't always like this. In fact, Maria used to own this home, but that was before she met a man named Thomas Morgan, who she calls her fiancé.
I have gone from a 4-bedroom home into a 1-bedroom apartment to a studio apartment, and I work full time.
How she ended up here is a case study in romance scams, how unscrupulous people on the other side of town or the other side of the world con women and men out of tens of thousands of dollars.
It's this very ancient, visceral, sort of psychological phenomenon.
And it is by no means rare.
We're seeing more of them, and that's unfortunate.
Maria's story began 4 years ago when she met Thomas at a conference in California.
He said, well, I am a jeweler by trade, and I'm here because I am going to be meeting with someone about an assignment that I want to get in Russia.
She says they developed a relationship.
We communicated through the internet and through the phones.
Thomas then claimed he ran into legal trouble overseas, and Maria started sending money. He was framed. He needed a lawyer. He needed to pay bribes. Wire transfer receipts show Maria sent tens of thousands of dollars. When she contacted us, she still believed Thomas and her relationship were real.
How much money have you spent so far helping him out?
Close to $67,000.
Over like 3 years?
Over 3 years, yes.
$67,000. And you don't think you're being scammed?
I don't. I really don't, because I don't feel it. I feel he's an honest man. He cried when he was in jail.
She still believed him, and the true price she had paid was actually much greater.
How do these con artists hook their victims?
Part of it is preying on vulnerabilities.
Athena Actipus is an assistant professor of psychology at ASU. She says it starts with the same feeling of having a crush, then gets more extreme.
There's this phenomenon in psychology too, which is, if you have already said yes to someone, you're more likely to say yes again. It doesn't start with, I need $100,000. It's after you've said yes many times.
$1,985.
It took us several meetings with Maria to find out how much she really sent to Thomas. $200,000.
Bitcoin? I don't understand what that is. I don't do Bitcoin.
Through wire transfers to middlemen across the U.S., people she thought were working for a lawyer who was trying to get Thomas out of jail in Russia. And she still did not fully believe she was being conned.
At this point, you're not ready to say that it is a scam?
Not yet. He didn't look like the type of caliber of person that would scam somebody. Not by the way he talked, not by the fact that is very religious.
Are these just single people ripping off Americans, or are these complex organized crime rings?
Well, we've seen a mixture.
Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich has prosecuted romance scammers. He says it's a growing problem, and these cases are very tough to crack.
Organized crime, organized gangs in other countries know that this is sometimes a very easy path to money, and that because they're in foreign countries, it's hard to extradite them, it's hard to investigate them.
After speaking to Maria for 2 months, we convinced her to go to the Attorney General. By now, she seemed to realize she had been had, and that there was very little chance she would recover any of her money.
No. The only thing I have left then is to go to the FBI and let them know what happened, because I've got all the documentation of the monies that was sent. We were supposed to have gotten married after the contract was done in Russia. We had our plans and everything, and it all fell through.
You weren't supposed to be living in a studio apartment.
No.
So Maria actually met this man in person at first, and that makes this a little different and a newer form of the classic romance scam.
Boy, what a journey to even get her to realize that she was getting scammed. And she really deserves a lot of credit for talking about this, because this is so heartbreaking. But it may help other people not fall for something like this.
Being able to identify it, and this was intricate, and this was most likely a criminal ring that spans the globe.
All right, Morgan Lowe, our CBS 5 investigative reporter, thank you. And coming up tonight at 10, Morgan is going to actually tell us how crooks are targeting our own 401k accounts, cleaning them out. That's coming up tonight at 10. Paul?
Thanks a lot, Sean.